What's going on, Saviors? GH here. Today we're gonna answer a Reddit question by a Redditor named Malbrecht. And Malbrecht's question is it worth it to come back to? We're gonna answer that in this video, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Let's do this! Okay, so Malbrick says, "Hey, so I pretty much haven't played since release and was wondering if it's worth it coming back to the game these days. I mostly heard negative things during the time I haven't been playing, which made me hesitant of getting back into it, but decided to give it a shot now. Regardless of that, I'd like to know how the game does at the moment." And according to this one, he's got more questions. First is, does it feel alive, at least endgame wise? Next is, are you required to spend tons of money to have an enjoyable time? How does the future look for the game? What's your general opinion on the game state? Hope you can help me out on some of these questions. Okay, let's answer these questions first. And warning to players that are super loyal to IMC, click away from the video because you will not like my answer. I will give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're still here, it's your fault. Your feelings will be hurt. Okay, here we go. Does the game feel alive? Yes, the game feels very much alive, and I can only speak for the North and South American server and Southeast Asian server. Just make sure to know the time when people play and be aware of the peak hours. There's a lot of people doing endgame content, guild activities. Just make sure to join an active guild and you will feel the game is alive. You will see the world chat is very active and people are trading and selling, looking for parties and members to join in an endgame content. The problem there is you just can't join a party because most of the content in the game right now has a class build requirement, equipment requirement, and of course you gotta know how to do the content or else you get kicked without any questions. His next question is, are you required to spend tons of money to have an enjoyable time? The answer is no. You can play the game completely free, but if you want to compete on the ranks, you gotta have to spend money, and I'm talking thousands of dollars. The game right now is at the point where it clearly states if you wanna be competitive, you gotta have a fat wallet. If not, just play the game and just ignore the competitive side. A lot of the endgame content can be enjoyed without spending money. Challenge mode is a content where you fight waves of mobs and in the end you get silver. It's an enjoyable content to do, just don't overdo it. A lot of the content is enjoyable, especially if you have people to play with. If you're soloing, that could be a problem. Okay, next question is, how does the future look for the game? They are still updating the game regularly if that's what you want to know. And actually, if you go to the website, you can read some of their developer blog and it shows upcoming updates that will come to the game. But if what you meant is what's gonna happen to the game in the future, in my opinion, we're gonna have lower concurrent players because the upcoming updates are not exciting. To be honest, most of it do not cater to the majority of players and instead only to the mega spenders. They keep making content that only a few could do and get. They don't see it as a problem because the majority will not be able to participate, and when people can't participate, why stay? Another thing is, if you're a hard-working player like me that's like to farm a game and win in the end, forget about that because they plan to remove contents that can be taken advantage of hardcore gamers. So the future of players like us is ending for the game. It's gonna be all mega spending. If that's a future you want, then hop on in. Another one of his questions is, what's your general opinion on the game state? Right now, it's a very enjoyable game to play. Players are always looking to do endgame content. Events are happening in a regular basis, although most of it are kinda underwhelming. It's not good. Updates comes in 2 or 3 months. The PvP side is very pay to win and it's not recommended to engage on unless you're another pay to win player. And yeah, I guess my only problem in the game right now is the gap between a regular paying customer and a mega spender. It's so far that it's useless to even try to compete. There are items in the game right now that is so expensive that just forget about it. It's a content in game you're not experiencing. You're not gonna get it. If I were you, just play the game and enjoy it as much as you can while avoiding the pressure to spend money for power. Overall, the game is in a playable state if you're going free to play. But there will be a point in the game that you will be given a choice. Farm the game to death or pay to win. And to answer your main question, is it worth it to come back to? The answer is yes. But beware of the competitive side of the game because it's not about skills. It's about how rich you are. It is worth playing, and that's coming from a player with a lot of issues with the game itself. My final advice to you is don't take the game too seriously. Just hop in and have fun. And that's it, guys. A good friend of mine wanted me to answer this personally, and there you go. I hope IMC will listen, but it's too late. Blue Protocol is coming, and there's a behemoth of an MMO called New Genesis in the horizon. I sure hope IMC will do a last-ditch effort to keep the last remaining players playing. And this is Gaming Hardcore. See you in the next one.